The role of crypto in the modern world. This is no longer just about money. Crypto is shaping war, it's shaping peace, it's even shaping which countries win and which ones will collapse. From sanctions to CBDCs, from Bitcoin being mined in Russia to the US forming a strategic crypto reserve. We are watching the biggest financial shift since the fall of the gold standard. So the question is no longer will crypto be adopted? It's who controls it, who gets locked out, and how do we as investors position ourselves in this new geopolitical chessboard. Let's break it all down. So let's break it down. The very first thing we need to talk about here is why crypto is not anymore just a financial tool for people to invest into, to gamble around, to buy and sell, to make some money on. Back in the times, crypto was very well known to be this very golden, shiny thing that can make a lot of money or wreck you completely financially, right? So back in the times, we had very raw markets in the sense of there was just like some normal users, normal people investing money, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Then we started to see some bigger investments from private people until it got institutionalized, and now it's more moving like a normal financial market compared to Forex or any other commodities. But right now, it's not a financial tool anymore. It's a geopolitical weapon. Crypto is being weaponized in the sense of who wins the race of adopting crypto, regulating crypto, using crypto for their benefit earlier than anyone else, because it's already a threat to governments. You need to understand government, govern the mind. The idea is to govern people, to control people. That's what a government needs to do. It's nothing bad. That's their job, because if people would not be controlled, we would live in anarchy. We would live in complete chaos. So it's good what governments are doing. But one way on how to actually govern people, control people, is by the monetary side. It's with money, right? That's why we have money. Money keeps people in a line. Money keeps people working. Money keeps people busy, running in this rat race, in this hamster wheel, right? To survive and pay their bills. Therefore, they're busy. They don't start to do stupid shit, right? Let's get to the point here. Right now, very important is to understand which country can manage a very good adoption in cryptocurrencies. Means like using cryptocurrencies for their benefit, not against them. So people don't stop to trust in the currency like the US dollar, the euro, the Swiss franc, but kind of like use the digital currency, and they can still control it, which obviously gives them way more control. Because as soon as you go away from cash money, you will see how tight they will have you in their pockets, controlling you on the blockchain, using digital money, using CBDCs, which we're going to talk about in a second. But the country that really adopts crypto and does it well will win the race, like everything else. If we go back into the moon war, in the sense of who goes to the moon first, is it the Soviets, if it's the US, there's always a race in technology, who is the first one, because the first one will continue to have the lead, and the US wants to continue to lead as an empire, as Russia wants to lead, as everyone wants to lead, right? So therefore Trump is saying the US will be a crypto haven. The UAE is very strong already in crypto, where the Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, or the ruler, says we want to be the place for crypto in the future. They have very low regulations on crypto. They have very easy ways on how to access crypto, buy crypto, use crypto for salaries, buy stocks or real estate with crypto, or like financial, let's say, investments with crypto. So there is already a lot of adoption in crypto. They don't fear it. They know it's cool to attract a lot of people with money. People will interact with the dirham. So I truly believe we're going to see a lot of adoption in the future, but we're also going to see, especially the westernized world, use it as a weapon to control people, as they always do, because that's what they need to do. You know, we always talk bad about governments in that sense. You know, we say, oh, they want to control, but that's their job, right? So crypto plays into their hand if they would just finally see it. Am I in favor for CBDCs? No, not really, because again, it takes a lot of freedom away from us people. But if it's something good in the future that is gonna come, then especially that it's easier for us to use money, send money, and decentralized finance is getting bigger and bigger. Therefore, decentralized finance means it's a way to escape the governments, their control, the KYCs, and all of these kind of things. I'm not saying you should do it, but it's always a possibility. So the biggest shift I would say I've seen in the last 12 to 18 months in crypto is definitely the Bitcoin ETF and then the Ethereum ETF following. It is definitely politicians using crypto to promote their country, to attract people, to get votes. Like Trump campaigned a lot for crypto. He was at the crypto meetups, he was at big conventions about crypto, and he talked about that he's gonna be the president if voted, that's gonna make America the crypto haven. So therefore they're using it, right? Trump did, for example, with Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a very, very popular figure as an entrepreneur, as a businessman. So locking arms with him obviously gets him a lot of votes. Talking about crypto gets him a lot of votes, right? And then this pressure of, at the end of the day, adopting crypto will put pressure on other countries, and they need to follow, because if not, they fall behind. And the monetary game is the strongest game when we think about how to lead and how to rule over the world, right? You need your monetary game in place. The US dollar is the currency reserve. It's the currency that most people hold assets in. It's the currency most people trade in. So it's like the main currency. Therefore, the country that leads the crypto revolution and adoption at the end of the day, right, will also win this. So in the last 12 to 18 months, especially the ETF, Trump using crypto for its campaign, many changes internationally where crypto got way easier adopted, and it's usable more for the normal person. And then especially Binance headquartering in UAE, many crypto companies headquartering in the UAE allowing loan and salary payments at the end of the day through cryptocurrencies. That is just beautiful, guys. I mean, now the best thing for us is that actually sanctions, inflation, and money printing plays into this, because if all the traditional assets that normal people invest into fail, where will the money go? Obviously crypto. For the very first time when Trump came out with his tariff war, what's happened is that crypto, or especially Bitcoin, for the very first time detached from the S&P 500. In the first day, so Wednesday night, Trump announced the tariffs, market went wild, everything crashed, US dollar crashed, right? Crypto, especially Bitcoin, did too, a little bit. Still very stable compared to any other assets like the S&P, but then in the next day it pumped while everything was bleeding. And that is a beautiful sign in the cryptocurrency market, to see Bitcoin not being and not moving as all of the other ones, like being a part of the traditional financial investment routes. And that's really speaking for Bitcoin, and how Bitcoin will become the digital gold, where in difficult times people not only invest in gold, and obviously gold is going through the roof, but in the future when this happens, people will invest into Bitcoin. We're very close to see this happening. So I truly believe that especially the USA and very developed countries, but also very underdeveloped countries, can very much benefit from this rise of crypto. Because if new developing countries that can adopt very fast, they don't have too much bureaucracy, because countries with a lot of bureaucracy will be very difficult to implement this very fast. But new countries, right? We see, for example, Latin American countries adopting crypto, having pilot projects, and they seem to easily implement them into their governmental structure and in their daily use, right? And that's because they can move faster. So if countries or even continents like Africa in the future, where we'll project a lot of economical growth, we'll see probably these countries adopting crypto very fast to combat especially all of the negative sides of these countries. There's a lot of corruption, right? And with crypto and blockchain, you can basically not hide anymore, right? Now I have no idea what my money is doing with the country. I cannot verify that. But in the blockchain, you see everything. How we see rug pullers and scammers taking money from people, we can then see what governments do. So that's going to be insane. I don't think, to be very honest, that most westernized countries will do that on that transparency level, but smaller countries can do it and therefore be very transparent, and that's going to be very beautiful to see. So smaller nations that adopt crypto now are working on that. They will lead the economical future, and therefore I'm projecting a lot to Africa, where this could solve a lot of the current issues that really will benefit. And at the end of the day, these countries are suffering on corruption, on these, like, let's say more like systematical things, which crypto would at the end of the day completely erase. Therefore these economies could blow up. Now, the counterpart is obviously countries that fight against crypto or ban it altogether. Let's take Germany as an example, that sold a lot of their Bitcoin at a very low price. I truly believe these are the countries that, due to their bureaucracy, their leadership, the way of the wokeness in the country, they're completely against it. They're repelling everything that is new, and they want to embrace traditionalism. So therefore, these countries will be left behind. At the end of the day, it's like not using electricity in the future. I mean, obviously, they can adopt pretty fast, especially if they do it with big events, as we saw in the past. There were big events that happened from one to another day, and they changed everything on the surface, and that can happen again. There can be financial crashes, blackouts, and then something new will be implemented. If well planned, this can go very fast. And in the past, we had something called the common flu that showed us how fast this can go. So they could adopt very fast. But even though, for me, it will reflect a lot which nation I'm going to live in, because I'm financially free, I'm geographically free. I'm sitting here right now in Ibiza recording this video. I can be tomorrow somewhere else on this planet Earth, and I will decide for the nation that adopts crypto in the best way, in the most free way, and in the let's say most ethical way. and I can just change and go there. And that's going to happen, like people fleeing from westernized countries because of high taxes, safetiness reasons, blah, 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 going to Dubai, to the UAE, whatever. They will do the same thing for the crypto nation. If one country can really take the edge here, lead the future in crypto, this is also going to be the country where people are going to move to. So I still believe UAE is going to do very well with crypto. I truly believe the USA is going to do well for the next couple of years. Let's say how it goes and how it's going to be misused in the future. But at the end of the day, governments want control. They will use their technology too. And there will be countries that will use it for freedom. For example, private accounts are private accounts in UAE. No one looks into your private accounts. It's your private account. It's none of no one's business. In westernized countries, they have access to it, and it's completely normal to look into them and to report them to the tax authorities. So the same thing is going to be used then for crypto. Some countries, it's completely normal that you have to show your crypto returns and your exchanges, and you will be controlled and KYC'd and all of these kind of things, right? And report all of your crypto incoming, outcoming. In other countries, no one cares about that, right? Because they have a very strong economy, they are very dominant, and they don't fear that their currency is not going to be used anymore by cryptocurrencies. And then therefore also, let's take other countries that really fear, really fear that their currency is going to be overthrown by crypto. Let's take Turkey for an example, where crypto was forbidden, India, where crypto was forbidden, Iran, where crypto is forbidden, many Arab countries where crypto is forbidden. I truly believe this is the wrong way, but I completely understand them because they have other difficulties and people really don't believe in their currency and sometimes even use other currencies or US dollar or whatsoever. So they will struggle a lot, but they already have internal problems. But crypto could also fix that if you're smart about it. That's why I'm seeing more and more countries really having crypto consultants helping them about the new governmental future of crypto. So now we obviously need to speak about CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, which means we have the central bank that then emits the money, and the same thing is going to happen for crypto. So we're going to have a central bank that gives us crypto. So it's basically a digital US dollar. It's basically a digital euro, and the system stays the same, you know? But now, obviously, and that's what I think these governments will do, they will try to kill privacy in favor to control you with CBDCs, because CBDCs means the total digital control over your money. Where if you think about it, what they could do is they could use your money as monetary policies as they're using it right now. So let's say, for example, the government wants to boost the economy. Now, they don't want people to save money, they want people to buy things. So what they're going to say is that we're going to give you your salary on the 1st of January. If you don't spend all of your money until the 1st of February, we're going to deduct 10%. So it makes saving impossible. Therefore, you need to buy things, right? So there's a lot of things they can play around with. And if you are in the monetary game a little bit, as you are on this YouTube video, and I guess so you are a little bit in the monetary world, you understand what kind of power this really gives to countries. CBDCs is a crazy thing. I see a lot of negativity. I don't see a lot of positivity right now. But yeah, there's always glitches in the matrix. There will always be ways. We just need to be informed and find ways. So I truly believe governments will try to kill privacy with crypto, but it depends on the country. There's already countries now in the westernized world, especially, that kill privacy completely, even though they say they're democracy. And then there's dictatorships where you live freely and you can do whatever you want, besides obviously being under the rules, right? And you have more freedom, right? So the UAE Western example, I think, fits very well here. This is bigger than Bitcoin, bigger than Ethereum. We are watching a shift in power, not just price. So if you're still thinking in terms of just bull runs and market caps, you are playing the wrong game. The real question is, who will own the next financial system? Is it going to be CBDCs or not? And what side of history are you going to be on? Let me know in the comments. Do you think crypto gives the people more power or is being hijacked by governments? Hit subscribe if you want the real narratives most investors miss. We'll keep covering it raw, unfiltered, and always ahead of the curve.